Okay, at this time, it is 6 o'clock, and we'd like to welcome all of you to the monthly meeting of the Walker County Board of Education. To start our meeting, we'll ask Dr. Willerson to do our invocation, please.
Father, thank you for the privilege of coming here tonight. And it's getting real close to Thanksgiving, and we certainly got a lot to be thankful for individually and our families as well. And help those, and I do hope those who are represented here tonight will have a good Thanksgiving and everything will be well. And as we, in our proceedings tonight, as we recognize some people who worked really, really hard in Walker County, I ask that you bless them in a special way. And Father, as we take care of business the very best we can, let you give us wisdom and understanding, and might we always be intent to do the very best that we can for Walker County schools and teachers in these proceedings. And Father, we'll give you the praise for all you do, for it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And Ms. Harden is going to lead us in our pledges.
We stand, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Georgia flag, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Georgia flag and to the principles for which it stands, wisdom, justice, moderation, and courage.
Thank you. We do need to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda tonight?
Motion.
Second. All those in favor? And yeah, we have special recognitions, Mr. Raines.
We do. We have several this evening. So first of all, thank you for all of you that came out tonight. Obviously a lot for our special recognitions. We always appreciate this. The board loves being able to recognize our students, our teachers, our faculty members for things that they're accomplishing. So we've got a lot of accomplishments. I want to start off with one that we won't have anyone here for tonight, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Every year, Roper Corporation reaches out to us about they call it their Blue Wave Day. So they ask their employees to volunteer for a local project. So for the last couple of years, they've chosen us. They didn't choose very wisely a couple of years ago when we got the rubber mulch in, and they came in bags that weighed like 1,000 pounds, and they had to move all that. But they did a great job. But they actually came to Gilbert this year, and this is what they've done at Gilbert. They constructed the newest outdoor base camp called Lewis N. Clark Memorial Classroom, and they sent some pictures. But we just wanted to make sure that we had this on tape, that we were thanking those folks from Roper for what they've done. And I would be interested, anybody here that works for Roper Corporation that's in the audience with us tonight? No? Okay, so probably still tired from the Blue Wave Day. But anyway, they've done this multiple times. And so if you know anything about the base camps there at Gilbert, is where our Forest Kindergarten or Forest First Grade goes out. And so they're building these shelters for them to use during the course of the day. So Kay Henderson is the connection with all of this, but Luther Ingram is their president. And so we just wanted to make sure that we thank them tonight as well for all that they do for our system. And they choose Christy Casey. I saw her earlier. There you are, Christy. Didn't Roper come and help you guys? I thought they did. So they do a phenomenal job of providing volunteer help for specific projects. So just wanted to make sure that I thank them tonight as we got started, and we'll make sure that is in the minutes as well. I'm going to ask the athletic director, Coach Langford, and assistant principal as well, if he'll come on up, and maybe with Coach Bass and the other coaches. We're going to start off with Lafayette High School and this amazing group of young ladies. I just called you up first, and then I called you all amazing young ladies. There are coaches here that are amazing young ladies, but there are some great coaches, but also these young ladies have just had a phenomenal season this year. And so we want to thank them and show them how much we appreciate them. So I'm going to let you brag a little while.
Okay, that's awesome. Coach Megan Bass is not here. She's under the weather. She was homesick today, so got some flu-like stuff going on. But we do have Coach Chris Bass, Davis Richardson, Drew Pence, and Madison Pettigrew. Our coaching staff's a great coaching staff. Group of girls are fantastic. Coach, make sure I said this right. 30-8 on the year. Most wins in school history. most wins in the state. Did I hear somebody say that? It was not. Okay, maybe not. But most wins in school history, and it was not that we didn't play really good competition. We played great competition. I know we lost. 2 of our losses were to Sonoraville, correct, who won the AA state championship. So it was not like we were playing a bunch of slackers out there. So it was a really good group of girls. As a first-year AD, it was awesome for me. I just kind of made myself a home and dove into the dugout with the girls and got in there pretty much every game and loved every minute of it. It's a great group. They're great representatives of Lafayette High School. They play the game the right way. Coaches coach them the right way. They coach them tough. They coach them hard. They coach fundamentals. It's a great program. The job that Megan Bass and her staff have done for the last, how many years has Megan been there? 9 years. Really a great. It's a great program. The girls really proud of them. They represented us well all the way to Columbus in the Elite Eight. Didn't come out the way that we wanted it to, but that was okay. We played the right way and did the right things, and I'm real proud of all of them. So that's what I got.
Have the ladies come
Yeah,
up.
come on up, girls.
Yeah. Get some pictures with the board. We'll let you guys stand here in front. The board will stand up behind you.
Congratulations, ladies. We're very proud of you.
I stay in the corner. A lot.
Hey, Dr. Willerson, if you can shift that way. There you go. And Miss Harden, that way just a little bit where I can see you. Okay, I think I can get everybody. Right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more. 1, 2, 3. And stay where you're at, parents, if you want to. Go right ahead. Oh, we've got one more that just got here. So let's redo. Let's redo. Delete and start all over. Okay. Everybody stay? That's good. Okay, right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more. 1, 2, 3. And stay where you're at. Parents, I'll get out of your way.
Coach, do you mind telling some of the highlights? Some of the girls had some region and state highlights this year as well.
Yeah, we had our pitcher, senior Marley Day, right here in the middle, won region pitcher of the year, and then we had 5 first-team all-region players. Let me make sure I remember these off the top of my head. Harley Perkins, third baseman, right here. Emma House, center fielder. Braylee Blevins, hitter, first baseman. Tamra, catcher, hitter. Emma Parker, shortstop. So we had 5 first-team all-players or first-team all-region players, and we have 3 girls, 3 seniors that have committed to play at the next level. Marley Day here is committed to pitch at Shorter College or Shorter University. Emma House is going to Reinhardt University, and Emma Parker in the front is going to Northeast Alabama Community College. So this is a really proud group. Very proud. They've done a lot in their 4 years, and we're sad to see them go. They're leaving a mark that they don't really understand yet. So we're very, very proud of them.
And Coach, we said all those things. We forgot to make that we were region champs for the first
Yes,
time.
19 years. 19 years.
Yeah, 19 years. First time since 19.
We still believe you had the most wins in the state, so that's
Yeah.
the story.
We can go with that.
That's right. Well, congratulations. I'm going to have Ms. Hintz and Ms. Benson, if you guys will come up. I know they have a special presentation they'd like to make to the board tonight as well.
So this also has to do with Lafayette High School, and we just wanted to brag on one of our ESOL students. It's her second year with us, and she is currently learning English. She's at a level 2 out of, when she reaches level 5, you exit the program. So she's still very much a very beginner English learner. And so the ESOL team and I would go to a Gatesall conference every year in Athens at the UGA campus, and that stands for the Georgia Teachers of English of Speakers of Other Languages. And so they have a writing competition every year where they choose a winner from elementary, middle, and the high school levels for each English acquisition level. So a level 1 winner, a level 2 winner, 3 and 4, so on. And so we're really excited. This is the first year that Walker County has ever had a winner for this writing competition. So they want our English learners to be recognized at all of their levels for their passion for writing and give them a context for celebrating their writing success. It's very difficult. Writing is one of the last things that comes along when you're learning the English language. So this is for those levels that I mentioned earlier. It includes anyone who took the Access English Language Proficiency Test the previous year. So it could potentially include someone that exited the previous year and they're being monitored for the first year. This year, the Gatesall Conference's theme was bridging. We are bridging these students into the future of the possibilities that they could achieve here in the United States. And so the contest theme this year was bridging languages. So the directions they were given are, they had to be a personal narrative, and they had to highlight their own personal experiences with connecting, learning, and navigating between their home and the English language. So their stories had to show how bridging languages can help build and bring people together. And so we're really excited that Krisha Patel, who's a student at Lafayette High School, she won the writing contest for all high school students in the entire state of Georgia on the English language acquisition level 2. And so they presented us the certificate at the Gatesall Conference, and she could not be here with us tonight, so we're going to have to celebrate at the school,
So we'll do that.
probably tomorrow or sometime this week before she goes on break. So we're really proud of Krisha Patel, and we feel like her story is going to inspire our other ESOL students to try to go for this competition because it's really difficult. They're competing against everyone in Georgia. So thank you for giving us this message.
Because I know they probably have a lot to do tonight, so then we'll let them go ahead. The last thing that I'd like for Ms. Hintz to come back up real quickly, because she was involved in a meeting the other day. I'm trying to get my notes here, sorry. To highlight, she was asked by the state of Georgia, the Department of Ed, federal programs, to highlight the face shuttles. Mm-hmm. So you guys saw them out here in the parking lot. If you haven't, you need to go out and take a look at them or set up a time to come see what's inside. So this was an idea that Autumn and Shay had a couple of years ago. And they came to me with this idea, and you know, I was just like, that's the dumbest idea. No, I said, that's fantastic. I said, run with it. And they did. And so that we have 2 vehicles now that are wrapped, and therefore you kind of give an explanation of what the face stands for, why we have them as a shuttle, and what goes on inside and where they're going right now. And then I'll finish up a little bit.
So as you said, we have 2 FACE shuttles, and FACE stands for Family and Community Empowerment. And this was a vision that Shay Cumby had long before that actually got started and put into place. She had heard about some other school system somewhere far away that did this, and it was a dream of hers. And so one of the requirements of our COVID relief funds was to try to help make up for all the learning loss that we were experiencing while we were shut down and those things. And so there was money. We were trying to brainstorm, how can we fill in learning gaps? And so I told Shay, I was like, if you really are serious about doing this, we got to do this now, right now, because we probably won't ever have another chance. And so she did a bunch of research, went and visited other school districts to see what worked, what didn't work. We found out that other districts that did this used old school buses, and so they were on their last tire. And when it went down, those buses were just immobile anymore, and it wasn't really doing the purpose. So after much research and figuring out that we wanted our family engagement coordinators to be able to drive this into the community, we knew that buses that were so large that required a CDL was not the route to go. So we got the perfect size buses out there to where, you know, pretty much anyone, as long as you have a clear driving record and then we get you in our database, you can drive those. And so last year was our first year really we finished the wrapping and the remodeling of the inside and getting it stocked with educational learning activities. So last year we started partnering with school activities and taking the Faith Shuttles to schools so that our families could get accustomed to seeing them and learning about them, learning what the purpose of them was. And so this year we're really excited because this year we're actually taking it into the community. We're taking them to housing authority locations. We're taking them into trailer parks. We're taking them out to restaurant parking lots. And the community has been very receptive. They've been very well attended. We've done anything from social emotional activities, teaching families like when you feel stressed, here are some calming activities that you can do, and incorporating some reading into that. We have supported families with technology needs. We've talked to them about the dangers of and safety things that they need to be aware of for using the internet at home and at school, and giving them parent resources for that, helping them get connected with Infinite Campus with our switch this year. We've also done, with us being in the month of November, one of our last ones was about being grateful. And so they did a bunch of writing and reading activities where they talked about what they're grateful for and made chain links of things that they're thankful for. So it's been really, really good. So we have, I think, one more this semester. And so all of our Title I schools are going to be coming up with another community activity. And Katie Justice, who is Shay Cumby's replacement, and I are talking about doing one or two at the district level where she and I go out and do our own. So we're so excited to find out where our new locations are going to be and what those activities are going to be. So we will get that scheduled to you as soon as we get it ready to publish.
So she brought a lot of recognition from the state level back to Walker County
yes.
for this. And so it put us on the map again for something that we just tried as an idea, and it became a reality. The other thing is Family Engagement Coordinator Day is Wednesday, the 19th. We designated that because this is Family Engagement Month in the state of Georgia. And so Autumn is the person that coordinates all that. So I just wanted to highlight her and tell her how much I appreciated her and have her take a picture here as well. Then if you'll send us the picture of Ms. Patel,
yes,
we'll get
absolutely.
that into the board recognitions as well tomorrow. So yeah, thank you, Autumn.
Thank you.
There you go.
You really want to stand up here with
That's
us?
all right.
I can get everybody
You got
in
plenty
this one.
behind you there. You're good.
Okay, right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you, parents.
Next on the agenda is items of information, superintendent's report.
So just a couple of things from this past Tuesday night. If you guys noticed, I've given you a one-page there about the question that Mr. Middleton asked about the pay incentive. So you can see that if we include every employee, which that was the goal, that's 1,490 of our employees. The recommended amount was $1,000, which would match the custodial bonus that the state provided this year. So you see the total there minus the $82,000 that we would be getting back from the state on just the custodians, and so what that end cost would be to the system. So just a couple of thoughts as we were talking this afternoon. One, you would have to do a resolution next month to amend the budget because this wasn't part of the budget, so we would have to do that next month, and we could do that at either planning or the board meeting. And then we would have a conversation sometime this week with our payroll specialist to talk about when we could do that. And so there's a couple of thoughts at play right now. One would be to add this to the December payroll, so it would go out with their December check. Okay, a lot of times folks, they don't fuss about this, but they'll bring this up that they lose a little more money because then it's lumped in with their salary, and so the tax rate goes up a little bit, so you see less of the bonus. The other thought was to do this the first week or so of January before we get into all the tax documents and things that are part of the payroll specialist job responsibilities at that point. So we're still talking through that right now. Realistically, we just need to know from the board what your perspective is on one, is this something you want us to move forward with? And then two, we would come back with the resolution next month to amend the budget, and then we would, at that time, we would have more of a plan of when this is going to pay. And I think the goal, Mr. Middleton, if I'm not mistaken, was because it's such a long time between the payday in December until the payday in January at the end, that this might break it up a little bit. And so I'll entertain any questions. Rachel is there in the front as well if you have questions for her.
So I guess, do we need to vote on it, or I'm good with doing it still going forward. We were 8 million to the positive in the 2024-25 budget. So I kind of would like to proceed forward with. I'm trying to look at my notes. I'd like to proceed with it. I mean, that's just me.
Well, let's just kind of take a strong poll as to whether we want them to go ahead and have a resolution ready for us at the next planning session.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson? Okay.
So we'll prepare the resolution. We'll also have a...
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, you go ahead.
Yes. Never said yes.
And get the timeline too. That'll be after the conversation with our payroll specialist to find that out. So thank you for being willing to do that. I've also given you some information there, and we dropped it into the shared drive about the CCRPI indicators and that data that came out. Robin put that together for you, so there's some explanations of each of the categories, but also of what those look like in comparison to the state. So I want you to really start reviewing that, and then I think at the planning session in December, we can dive a little deeper into that as well. You saw that there was I gave you a copy also of not the press release, but the statement from Superintendent Woods, where he's recommending a $10,000 increase to teacher salaries. I just thought that would be of interest to you as you begin to do some additional reading on that. It is a campaign year, and so I understand that as well. So, but I know our teachers have been very supportive of his leadership while he's been in the DOE. We've moved really from a lot of compliance to a real true service from the DOE. It definitely has changed under his leadership. I'm not saying that as a vote for him. I'm just making a statement. So I wanted you guys to have a copy of that. This afternoon we had our first meeting of the Lookout Mountain Judicial Circuit, where we are looking at student attendance and school climate committees. The first order of business was to name a chairperson from each of the 4 counties that are listed. So that's Dade, Catoosa, Walker, and Chattooga. Those are the 4 counties that were represented. And so 3 of the 4 agreed that it should be a school social worker. So we were one of those. So Corey Lowe will be our person that's in charge of beginning to develop that team. Dr. Willerson was there with us today as well. They recommended or required a board member. Superintendent was there. We had several folks that were representative of Walker County. And so that was the first piece was to actually have this meeting. And Judge House had to bump his time frame because of some scheduling difficulties. We got that in today. So the second piece was to name the chairperson for each of the counties. This is not due until June 1st of next year, the plan, but it has to be an individual plan for every school. And so we'll start that process of putting together our team, which will include a variety of folks around our county. And then obviously we'll be talking to the other 4 counties as we go through this process. So appreciate Dr. Willerson being there with us today in that virtual meeting, and then we'll move forward and we'll continue to let you guys know how that's progressing as we go forward. I know there was a text stream over the weekend about a tour of the combo field. You guys were looking at Tuesday, tomorrow night. What I did, I went ahead and advertised that because the assumption there was that we would have more than a quorum to go on the tour. Even though you won't be talking business, you'll be looking at business, and so I wanted to make sure we were covered there. I have backpack blessings, so I'm going to try to rush through that to meet you guys there at 4:30. We're asking Josh to come out and kind of do the tour since he's been the boots on the ground during this entire process. And so we'll just meet there at 4:30 tomorrow on this campus of Ridgeland High School and give you guys a tour. If something happens and we need to change that, we can shift it. I know Mr. Richardson had asked if we did it Wednesday before 6 o'clock before church. If we need to switch it and something comes up, let us know. We can re-advertise. But right now we went ahead and advertised it for tomorrow at 4:30. And I think that is everything. Several things on the facilities report when Mr. Deputy begins to discuss this. We adjusted the agenda this week. You knew about the Cartwheel Atrium, and we settled on Atrium, so that's on your agenda tonight. But you're also having, we received the offer on the transportation property, so we have that in place, and so this is for you guys to approve the acceptance of that. They've already put some earnest money in the bank, and they're not doing a due diligence period at all. They're ready to go ahead and close and get this thing closed out before the end of the year. So we're excited about that. We also received a call from Potts Brothers about the Fairview property. They want to go ahead and try to auction that. We have told them that we have the final say on the total, so we're not going to be taking one of those very low bids. I wanted to assure you of that, but they've got that scheduled for Saturday, this coming Saturday. So they're moving pretty quickly on that as well. I think that was all that was the addition. I sent you the Alpha Communication one as well about the bus radios. So I wanted to make sure when we get to the agenda and discussion, we can answer questions there, but I wanted to make sure you knew if you had any specific questions when Jamie does his report, we can answer them then. And then if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer those as well.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Raines? None? Okay, facilities report.
Well, he's covered some of it again. We just need a clarification or acceptance of recommendation to move forward on the bus. And then Fairview Park again for the auction. Again, there's a bus purchase rec on there that we've talked about too that's going to be following up. And another recommendation that we discussed is on there again is about the Mountain View Elementary, the Head Start, or the roofing where we want to help with them, just to follow up. We've had conversations about that, but for you to officially review that and do part of that. The others we've already talked about, Nothing's Changed really, Rock Springs and Teachings, those things we've talked about last week. And the other one is Alpha Radio Rec from May, where you approved the radios, but it was going to be the cellular devices that ended up having a subscription cost annually. That was going to be roughly $30,000 to $40,000. I think higher more towards the $40,000 a year annually. So there was a discussion with, I'm assuming Chris Washington guys between now and then about a purchase of going digital with that and changing out a little more cost up front. In the long run, there's no subscription cost, so they pay for themselves after this year and next year, where the other ones would be continuing. And if we ever went back to digital, you would have a total cost of having to redo everything, which would be a little bit more astronomical compared to what we're doing now. So just want to make sure you understand what went through with the digital transformation versus doing the cellular system that he had proposed back in May, which you approved on.
And those are going to affect when?
Well, I'm sorry, which one?
We'll get the radios when?
The radios are already in.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Those went over fall break, but I was just clarifying because when I looked at minutes, they were approved in Alpha and a different thing, but then there was a change there. Just make sure you're all in the loop on some of those changes. So.
Any other questions, comments?
All right. Thank you.
We do have 3 individual action items. The first one, it's recommended that the Walker County Board of Education approve the financial report for the month ending September 30, 2025. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor? The next one is, it's recommended that the Walker County Board of Education approve the planning and regular session dates as presented. Do we have a motion? A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Next, it is recommended that the Walker County Board of Education approve the sale of the former transportation facility for a purchase price of $775,000. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Next, we need to approve the list of consent action items. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor? And now we have new business. Mr. Middleton, I'll start with you and work our way down. Is there anything that you would like to discuss or need to comment on?
Yes. So it looks like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Jamie, it looks like I'm going to take the maintenance guys out to breakfast Thursday, 7:30. If y'all are bored, y'all are more than welcome to join. If you're hungry.
If there's going to be 5 of you, you need to let me know so I can have time.
Yeah, I forgot. So, I didn't think about that.
Sit all over the restaurant.
Yeah, if you can sit at different tables, that would be good.
Especially if you're going to Wanda's.
Going to Greg's,
Oh,
right?
that's just as bad.
Going to Greg's. Be on the right-hand side, so most likely. The couple of things. I went to Naomi's Naomi Elementary School Council was it last week and a half ago?
Not last Friday, but Friday.
Yes, so a week and a half or so ago, and it was, I guess, me being on the other end of the county, I didn't realize what all was going on at Naomi, and there's a bunch of great going on at Naomi. Great things. Miss Casey's doing great stuff, her and her staff. Pretty impressive. And lastly, I think maybe Isaac Hamilton got a hold of some folks at Ridgeland. Had a kid come up to me, which is pretty impressive, hitting me up for computers for esports. So, although he was about 6'4", so I had to look up at him. But so esports, I don't know if everybody's familiar, but it's a GHSA sanctioned, just make sure that's right, computer event, and the kid was just saying that they have to carry basically his laptop from his house, not his laptop, his PC, thank you. I was going to say tower, but it's not he has to carry his PC from his house, plug it in at Ridgeland, and in order to do his esports at Ridgeland. And so I think that we need to figure out if we can help with that some way, somehow. I know it's a new thing. Esports is just became sanctioned last year, but what I gather...
Does it have to be the PC that they have? They can't do it on a laptop?
It does. It has to be a PC.
It does have to be. Is that
Yes.
because...
Yes, it's
tell
for
me
the
IT
gaming.
lady.
Yeah, it's because of the gaming. But we went down to Rome, and they have a whole arena. It's impressive. Bartow. They hosted the state tournament last year, and their innovation project, it was quite impressive. So,
Does Lafayette, Tommy, y'all got? No? So, anyway, what I gather from this kid telling me, and I don't know, he said we could get what they need, a couple of setups for about $2,500. Does that sound right? I don't know.
that would be a start.
Yeah,
Yes,
well.
that would be a start.
Just something to look at, just kind of get the ball rolling. If we can help, we need to help. It's a sport that obviously we don't need them to bring their desktop from the house, put it on the bus, and if something happened, and then here we are on the hook for their computer. But
Is there an athletic supplement for esports? I thought there was.
so if we can provide a computer for them, it'd be awesome. And
Well, we could also utilize the planetarium. We talked about that area over there is like stadium seating and
play it on big screen.
yeah.
Are you part of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you the coach?
No, sir. But I had esports at McEacher.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
I just don't know who the coach is for Richmond. You know?
It's the same robotics. April, that was his last name.
Long story short, I'm done. That's all I got. I'm done talking. So that's it. Sorry.
Mr. Richardson.
I do have one thing that I want to bring up. It's obvious, kind of the information you shared with us about attendance, and if you look across the state, I mean, there's things being passed about school attendance, and we've got a problem. I mean, and it's statewide as far as attendance goes. Being in the classroom teaching currently, I see how kids suffer when they are not there. I think as a board, one thing that we need to do is to start looking at solutions, maybe options outside the box. And I know this committee coming together is maybe can generate some ideas, but talking about that being at the end of this school year before that really forms and gets together, I think there's some other options that we need to consider. And one of the things as a board is I think we need input from our staff, our students, our parents, our community. And where I'm going with this is I know, Ms. Holloway, it's getting time for the school calendar to come about. Okay? And looking at that, kind of doing a little research and having a little, I guess, personal input myself, one of the things that is out there that has been shown statistically to improve attendance has been a 4-day school week. And I think that is something that I would like us to have some discussion on. There are, and of course, there's with any type of research, you can kind of bend numbers to look however you want them to look. However, a lot of research out there has indicated that it does improve attendance. There's an opportunity for cost savings for a school district to be better stewards of money. There's also proof as far as students getting more rest, kind of more relaxation, that their overall mental health is improving. And I know we're voting on some services to assist there, but that may be able to help as well. I definitely think it's going to help your teachers and employees, giving them more opportunity to plan, more opportunity to have professional development, kind of freeing up some of the time during the day, maybe not holding as many meetings during the planning during the school day, putting them on those days where the students were not there. I also know there's some problems that come with that. I mean, we have a lot of students that deal with food insecurity. We've got, you would have the issue with daycare, for that extra day. And also you need to look at what kind of impact does that have on your elementary students with longer days. So I think there's pros and cons both ways. I'm getting a lot of, and I'm asking questions. I'm out talking to folks, and I'm getting input both ways. But I think it's something that we need to open up for a discussion in the near future, and to consider this, and try to do what's best for our students, our community, our staff, and just overall take a closer look at that. So.
Okay. Ms. Harden?
I do not have anything today.
Mr. Willers?
I do, but I can't bring it up tonight. I'll bring it up later in this session, but not tonight.
Okay. One thing that I would like to talk about too is, I know, Kevin, we had talked about, of course, obviously we want that decision to be a data-driven decision.
Sure.
We had talked about doing surveys, where the surveys results would come straight to the board, not because we're trying to hide anything, just because we're trying to get more participation. And people get really paranoid about returning those surveys.
Sure.
So if we could do one and actually have a question
I
concerning
put that in my
that.
notes to
Yeah.
make that a question.
Yeah.
Just to see what the response was from
Exactly,
employees.
from teachers, parents, and,
Right.
to go with that.
Now, the survey we're talking about, like the school safety survey, does not include that on it. And this one is usually just to employees. So are you suggesting that we do something out to our parents at some point? Or
I would like to see it go to the parents as well.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Just that one question, or do you?
I would think a survey with 2 or 3 questions. We may throw 1 or 2 others in there, just anything. I'm not sure what it would be yet, but I hate to just send 1 question.
Sure.
I think all the different groups, I mean, kind of
Yes.
piggybacking what you said, I mean, I'd love to hear from staff, I'd love to hear from parents. I think I'd love to hear from our students as
Yes.
well, and just kind of see, but again, and to take all that into consideration and again, just have that discussion.
Okay. That was all that I had in that area. So, next on our agenda is public participation. Okay. Mr. Raines, do we have anyone that needs to speak tonight?
Yes, ma'am. So we have 3 who follow the procedures laid out in policy BCBI, public participation in board meetings. And so our first speaker, and we have a list of the rules and procedures up there. First speaker is Zachary Green. Zachary is a student at LHS High School, and he wants to talk about grunt style apparel at Lafayette High School.
Okay. Mr. Green, let me remind our speakers, and this is to all of them, about the parameters associated with addressing the board. A copy's been provided for you. If you could take a moment just to read it and familiarize yourself with it. And Ms. Harden is going to be our timekeeper, so you let her know when you're ready. She'll put 5 minutes on the clock, and then she will give you a 1 minute warning before time is expired. Okay? Ms. Harden, right here.
I'm right here. Are you ready? Okay.
I'd like to start this by saying my mother was in the military along with my grandparents and great-grandparents. They served in the armed forces. But I was told, I believe last month or the month before, that by a couple of teachers or by an assistant principal at Lafayette High School, they told me it was a school board policy that we could not wear the shirts. But I went through the school board policy and I have it right here. They told me that it might offend somebody, and I was told the very next day after I changed my hoodie that I couldn't wear it because of political violence. We went through the school to call the county code, and it was not in there. The grunt style logo, as you see here, it features a pair of Cross 1792 Springfield muskets, historically significant rifles, usable.
Speak up.
Sorry. Utilized during the War of 1812. These muskets serve as a symbolic representation of American independence rather than literal weapons, replicating a company's brand identity. The central element of the logo, the cross rifles, is a tribute to the order. The motto of grunt style, this was offended, is shared with the U.S. Army, oldest branch of the U.S. military. The phrase stands for the company's dedication to patriotism and the American spirit. The cross rifle is the symbol, also symbolizes protection and defense, highlighting a commitment to safeguarding values and principles rather than promoting violence. They serve as a reminder of the company's focus in defending freedoms and ensuring security for all. To conclude my statement, I would like you to please consider allowing grunt style in Lafayette High School and other schools.
You have 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 22 seconds left. Are you
Would
completed?
you like to see this?
I'm sorry.
Would you like to see this?
Yes.
We won't decide anything tonight, but we'll, and we really can't respond to you. That's just the policy. We don't respond. But if you're finished, we would like to thank you. It's very hard to speak in front of a group, and we want to thank you for having the courage to come and do that. Thank you. Do you need this back tonight?
No, you can keep it.
All right, thank you. Okay, Our next speaker,
It's Mr. Craig Pruce. He's a resident, and he wants to discuss finances and budget. And I will say, Craig and I had a lengthy conversation. If you remember, he was at the board meeting last month, didn't know that there was a policy to sign up early, and so he fulfilled that and is on the agenda tonight.
Yes, and I thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir.
Got some questions answered there. I believe I've already read the policies ahead of time. So
All right.
thank you very much, and I will refrain. So ready to start? All right, here we go. So why am I here this evening? So I am a resident of Walker County, and when I moved here in 2021 from Whitfield County, I actually received sticker shock. And sticker shock came in the form of two things. The first thing was my water bill. Oh my goodness, Walker, I mean, it's got to have gold or something in it. Sky high, okay? The second thing was property taxes hit me hard. I didn't realize how expensive property taxes are here in Walker County. So since 2021, I've been doing some research and looking into things, trying to understand why are property taxes so high. And I get the typical residents who tell me, oh, it's a BB thing. Oh, we went through this issue, that issue. We've run a deficit for so long, we're trying to make up for lost ground. You know, we went from 1 person to a 5 person. And then all of a sudden I come across this line item on my taxes that says for the school fees. And the school fees included in here are 60% of my overall property taxes that are sitting in there. So that's 6 cents on every dollar that I spend on property taxes. So why am I coming to you this evening? I'm coming to you as a taxpayer. I'm coming to you as a concerned taxpayer who says, I don't envy you. You guys have a great responsibility here. It is on you to have the best educational system, and you will be held accountable. And you're going to get hit hard by parents all day long who say, we want more, we want this program, we want an esports program to go into effect, we want this new ball field to happen. And every time you're going to get all these requests for monies. Where I'm coming to you from is saying, wait a second, what is that going to do for our overall perspective? How are we on our core products? I've had conversations with teachers who work here in Walker County who said, you know, it's amazing. Here we've got higher taxes and everything, but when you look at the pay of what us teachers receive, it's less than what you get in other counties that are reciprocal in nature. So you got to wonder, if you're in the field looking for a job, would you go to Walker or would you go to another one where you can make more money and have a better opportunity for you over there? I don't know. But the bottom line is, I'm just asking you to make sure. Over the summertime, we heard Senator Joe Kennedy share about monies that went off to Iraq to be able to fund Sesame Street, $3 million worth. We also heard about electric buses that we were paying for as taxpayers in Rwanda, $500,000. And you begin to wonder, I won't go into the rest of the laundry list, you can look online, Joe Kennedy and his. So I won't go into this, but I do want to ask you, what accountabilities do you as the board have in place? Do you ask yourselves, when we approve these line items, what are they actually getting spent in? When you set up a budget at the beginning of the year, and this year's budget I was looking at is $84 million, do you follow through on line items and say, this is what we allocated? What did you actually spend it on? Did it get spent appropriately? Did it get spent frugally? Are there ways that we can cut back? Ask yourself, if we have an $8 million surplus, is there a way we can reduce the millage rate next year to be able to save the taxpayers, to be able to benefit our community at large here, and still have a great school program? I mean, when you're looking at these numbers, and I'm just amazed, I'm just starting to dig into it, and I'm looking forward to spending much more time with you guys over these numbers. But in September alone, revenue, you brought in $11 million. And the expenses that went out was $15 million, $15.9 million. So already, to start off the year, and I'm hoping, again, this is only my second month here in reviewing numbers, you're running in a $4 million deficit your first month out. So hopefully this is a trend where September's typically low, but your numbers get higher, maybe towards December when tax collections come in. I don't know. But as these things come through, I'm going to ask you, instead of saying $1,000 bonus, yes, automatically, let's do it as a board. I want that. This sounds great. Take the time to step back and think, do we have the money to be able to afford it? Is there a greater way that we can show these people appreciation? Is there a better way that we can engage the community? when I was over in Catoosa County with my business, one of the things they wanted to do was raise business taxes. And I had meetings with the city council, and I asked them, was the city running into deficits? Are we having problems? And their response to me was, no, we just want businesses to pay more money. And so I ask you, when you go to do these property taxes, are you asking yourselves, do we really need more money? Do we really need an increase? Is there a way that we can scale back? If we have an $8 million surplus, is there...
7 seconds.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I have so much more to get into, but I look forward to it. I'll be here in months to come. Thank you very much for listening to me. God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you. And our final speaker, Mr. Raines.
Yes, we have Mr. Jack Goodland. He is also a resident of Walker County, and he wants to talk about school taxes as well, but I think he wants to talk a little more about exemptions.
Yeah, I want to talk about old people. Y'all have parents, so I have property in Catoosa County, and my buddies and stuff, they say when they turn 75, they didn't have to pay school tax. I didn't read this stuff, so if I step out of line, tell me. But so when you turn, and it's not related or dependent upon any income limit. And in Walker County, when you're 75, you don't have to pay school tax if your adjusted net income is less than $15,000. Well, that would be just about everybody. But so I'm asking, as a resident that's been here 44 years, 469 Straight Gut Road. My grandparents were here before, but just to consider, and let me rephrase. I thought it was a state thing, that had to go to Atlanta, but then I found out when I went to was talking with the people in Catoosa County that it's a county issue. So I first talked to where I met you at the Walker County Commission, and they said, well, that is a school board issue. So that's only why I'm here. I appreciate your all service. I mean, you take your time to do this, and thank you, sir. Mr. Raines, I saw him yesterday, and he made it possible for me to be here. But that's all I'm asking is to consider if us old folks could get a break on the school tax when you're 75. I'm 76. But, maybe if you raise the income level or something, just to give a few people a break. But I appreciate what y'all do. Thank you. And if you're in Catoosa County and Fort Oakville, come to Park Place and eat. I'll give you a 10% discount. But thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
My picture?
Next on the agenda, do we have a need for executive session?
You have the personnel list. It was pretty simple. Unless you guys have questions about personnel, I do not have a need.
Anyone have a need? No? Okay. So we have a recommendation of personnel for certificated, non-certificated, and other. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? We need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? We are adjourned.